So from the given customers and the orders table, we need to identify the customers who have placed more than 3 orders. So let us make a query for this. You already know how do we start with the query. So I will start with select. First column that I need is customer name. So I'll mention this as c dot customer underscore name, and I also need customer ID. So I'll just put this as c dot customer underscore ID. Now at this point of time you might be wondering why I'm using c dot. So that is because we would be denoting customers as C and orders tables as O. That's the next column that I want should display the count of orders. How do we get the count of orders? For that we will have to use the count function. Within the count function, you tell me count of which column. So count of order amount. So order amount is present in which table? It is present in orders table. So we would be denoting orders table as O. So O dot order underscore amount. Now the next thing that we want is from customer. So I'll be mentioning customer C. So as I said, we would be denoting customers table as C so that SQL can identify, okay, that C means the customers table. Now the next thing that we want is a join. So as we know that we would be using inner join, or you can just use join, not a problem. But inner join we want to apply to which table? So that we want to apply to orders table. So I'll be mentioning orders and then again space O. As I said, customers as C and orders tables as O. So we want to apply this join based on which two columns. So we already know that there is a customer ID column between the two tables. So we would be applying based on the customer ID. So I'll mention this as C dot customer underscore ID is equal to O dot customer underscore ID. Okay. So I'm sure that until this part you must be clear as to what we have done. Now the next thing that we want is we need to group this data. So as we already know how do we group this data, we want to group this data based on the customer name and the customer ID. So I'll be using the keyword group by. So group by c dot customer ID comma c dot customer underscore name. So based on these two columns we want to group by. Now the next thing that we want is there is a condition. We want to know the orders placed by customers that are greater than 3. That means we need to put a condition to filter only the customers who have placed more than 3 orders. So for that in one of my previous videos I had told you very clearly that along with the group by we use having keyword. Okay, so I'll be making use of having. Now what is the condition? The condition is that the count should be greater than 3. So I will be making use of this count function for the new column that we have created. Count is greater than 3. Okay, and the last thing that we need is we want to order by this data. So I'll order by based on, let's say I want to order by this data based on the customer ID. So I'll be mentioning c dot customer ID. Okay, now let us review the query once. I think it is pretty much ready, but just one small addition required. Count O dot order amount. Let us say that this column is order underscore count. So this new column would be order count. So let us see if this query is working or we are getting any error. So I can see that there are total 6 customers who have placed more than 3 orders. Okay, if I want, let's say the customers who have placed 5 orders, then what I will do, I will say that having count greater than 4. If I run this, I'll get exactly 2 customers are there who have placed 5 orders in the table. Okay, so I hope this will help you. As I always say, please practice this. Thank you so much.